now that the governments across India also now investing significantly in different digitalizations, let us we leverage off this. And in fact, series of, again, the technology providers and solution and talent, which you have, which in fact, many of the work across the world and including Australia, majority of the services coming also out of India. So however, how we are going to combining this into the roadmap for Indian government, for the communities, that we can better address this. So therefore, we're talking about that when we are going from the real world into the two, what we call it, the spatially accurate fabric base to prepare, then we go into the three-dimensional environment to make, and then we go to the 3D, what we call it, digital cadastre ownerships as well, and then we come to the integrated and digital environment, and then we form the digital twin associated with that. Digital twin is a highly advanced digital representation of the real world. So therefore, Australian government, for example, we have contributed to development of a principle that would support this and then make on foundation into these elements. In order to design the digital twin platform, we need to look at to the data, model, and scripts, the applications. Therefore, we look at to the providing the solution that would facilitate analytics, simulation, visualization, and forecasting, and then we can look at to the knowledge, intelligence, and insight. So therefore, if we look at to taking a prototyping in at least 2-3 major cities, but not as a whole city, you can actually start by taking a proof of concept to engage industries, local governments, and also particularly with series of indicators. Sustainability indicators would be some of those elements related to the resilience and safety would be another dimension, and then we can actually demonstrate this. And I remember that in our first meeting or the first trip mission that we had in Kerala, then when we met with some of the government officials, and then when we were discussing about series of elements, at the end when I showcased the work that we have done in Victorian government and also in Melbourne, when we showcased that was the one that particular head of that department were actually saying, look, we want to have this one. We want to do this for our city. So that's what I'm actually saying, Dr. Praveen, that we can work and we can actually engage every discipline in your, again, the network of colleagues that you have today to be part of this and develop that. And we will be very happy to share and support that. And in fact, with the arrangement that we have between Melbourne University and India, I mean, this is between Melbourne University and Indian universities, and we have also special arrangement and this, what is that one, the scholarship arrangement, and also collaboration among different entities. So we take that, assigning a number of students, talented students into this and doing this. So therefore, we look at to how we are going to design from precinct level to the city, to a state, national, and to the global level, with different, again, from bottom-up approach and top-down approach to see how we get into that. The other things that we are going to work on. So what you can see now here, the series of elements that this is a part of the digital twin that we have developed and managed in our cities. So therefore, what you are seeing here are the real example of the digital twin that we have developed for our government here. And in fact, in Victorian government, we have developed this. We have engaged more than 20 departments, and also we managed to capture more than 1,200 data sets across these 20 departments into the mixed system. And the system now becomes as a live data system, which you can apply, you can move, you can get series of analytics into that. As well as also, again, series of elements that you can see, you can apply for the context, what we call a context awareness, and also context analysis for planning zones, planning schemes, and also driving series of elements into that. So therefore, there are elements that we can work and we can contribute into this, and also providing series of integrated building information model. And every pieces of the city and of our jurisdiction, rural areas, can be integrated into this, and then we can actually make those elements available and also getting inquiry into that fund and querying and also analyzing and comparing and running that. So these are for the situation awareness, going inside building, having also inside any objects, working on that different element, scaling up, and also explosion that we can do for every aspects of the work. And again, as I said, this is a real example of the work that we have conducted for our government here, and series of indicators, and also for sustainability and public safety information into that. When we look at the modernization of the land and geospatial system to support this sustainability and resilience, we see there are 3 pillars or 3 foundations. We look at this. So one is around smart cities and different elements. One is around sustainability, and then the foundation technology, and also land and ownership information and digital twin, because that would actually help us with the resilience from the inclusiveness and also from connected environment. So therefore, why we're looking for the sustainability? Because it is inclusive, it is interconnected, and also global action that we need to have. In order to move around this, there is a process that we need to adopt. Identifying the challenges like pandemic, then we look at the understanding socioeconomy and environmental diversities, which means that then we have to look at visualizing those data, then monitoring the progress, which means that analysis, and then developing action plan, and then taking action, implementing. However, there is an interrelationship mapping among all of this. Many people actually think that sustainability and the 17 goals of the UN SDGs or they have a very simplistic view of the world. They think that this is just a one-liner actually into one aspect. So for example, if you are looking for making the water actually, for example, clean, and then or health would be very just related to one department. In fact, there is a interrelationship between every goals and indicators, and also depending to our strategies and also our foundation, we need to look at those and applying that. So therefore, we can see this is just an example again from our research center and the areas of research priorities that we look at, and then we started mapping that. We have a research team which is around sustainability and resilience, and we are applying series of elements into this. And recently, I have also received again another very talented student from India now to going to work on this sustainability, but from the energy efficiency and also again from the series of indicators related to transport, for example. So therefore, a sustainable and resilience feature for all, we need to look at the movement, we need to look at sustainable development, and also when we talking about let us be building back stronger, this is about that how we can leverage off, and if there is an incident, and we can actually better managing this environment in a sense. Let me now take you through some example and also about what our colleagues said about our center. So you're most welcome to visiting our website, and this is our address. We are a center that this year we have celebrated our 20 years in operation. And we just shared with our colleagues worldwide, and we have been working with more than 100 countries around the world. We have been in traction, and we are centered that we are fully on research income, and we are not receiving seed funding from anywhere or from university. We are actually generating funds, and we are growing, and we have a reasonable and healthy environment to work on this. Our core capabilities have been around series of domains, from the safety perspective into the digital twin. Also we look at the sustainability and a smart city, and we also part of our work is focusing on executive and intensive type training that is happening, and we're running for different elements. Let me run this short video about our center that hopefully can provide you with a bit of understanding about our context, our work, and then we can continue on that. So I hope that actually provided you with a snapshot of who we are and our research center and the areas that we have been working on. And as I mentioned, we have been also again publishing and making all of our publication available. And through our website, you can access to many documents and all the thesis, master and PhD thesis, and also every project that are not confidential are all available to our website, and also all our publication. The latest one has been around this COVID-19 pandemic and the role of geospatial information and community resilience. What we have actually conducted in this particular, that in this we had over 30 countries that have been examined or contributed into this, different methods and approaches that different societies have used in order to respond to pandemic, and the ways that actually can utilize those kind of techniques. And also we had just over 120 colleagues contributed into this. So again, it is something that we definitely need to work together to making sure that our world is better place to live for all. So I hope that already addressed some of those elements. Thank you.